What's going on, guys? Maddie here from DCLblogger.com. Another video going through the land market in Decentraland. Let's go through the last 7 days worth of sales. Let's see what were good deals. Let's go through the land market currently. Let's see what are some good deals on the market and everything in between. Guys, I'm thinking of doing another video in the week as a weekly video, just to go through the updates of Decentraland, so the new partnerships, some new things that have come to surface, just some general new kind of information that I've come across following Discord, following them, because I followed Decentraland quite intensively. I'm very like this is literally half my day life. I just check out these prices, I make deals, I kind of make some flips in between. And the more I kind of stay in tune and up to date with what's happening with Decentraland, the better chance it gives me to make money with my investment. And I know there are many people out there that don't have the time to participate in the Discord, don't have the time to follow every single update, read every blog post. So at the end of the day, why not just make a video out there for you guys so it's easier for the Decentraland community to keep up with? So that may be a separate video. I don't know what day I'm going to release it on. But in this particular video, I only go through the land market and things related to it. So let's just get started, okay? First of all, you guys know me. I like to look at the cheapest lands in the market because it gives us a quick health check on what's happening. What's the bottom with these lands. Before, I think about if I did the same video about a month ago, I think the bottom would have been somewhere closer to 7,000 mana, about 6.5 to 7,000 mana. But now that that specific person that was dumping his lands because he ended up like 3 months ago he went on like a buying spree and bought the 300 cheapest lands. So he himself bumped the price up from 6,000 to like 15,000 mana, right? And then he kind of dumped it when he realized and kind of got to know Decentraland a little bit better. He knew where the valuable places were, so he just sold the parcels that he thought were not as valuable anymore, and he stuck to his estate. So I've gone through his wallet. We call him Nessie in the Discords, and I've counted that he doesn't really have any more lands to dump on anymore. Like he's kind of sold everything. Like I think 200 lands he's been able to sell on the marketplace over the last 3 to 4 weeks. But now, since all that's over, market prices are recovering for lands. And guys, now, like right now is like the cheapest I've seen in a long while to buy lands when you convert it to fiat, because as we all know, BTC has like, you know, gone pretty wrecked over the last 3 to 4 days. It's dropped in value from 6,300 US, I think it was, all the way down to sitting to 4,500. So it's like almost a 2,000 US dollar drop. Big percentage. I think that's like almost 30% drop, which at this stage is massive, right? Because we already dropped like 65% from all-time high, and then to go a further 30% down is a big deal. And you guys that probably do technical analysis, you know a bit better than me. I know a little bit, but the fact that it's broken its long-standing support, you can see that there was a support line here for a while, right? Like where my cursor is hovering, and we were all waiting for it to break that support. Either it was going to bounce off it and start to recover, or it was going to continue going downwards. And the fact that we were dropping in volume indicated that it was probably going to go down to the downside, and that's what happened. But at least now there's a bit of volatility. There's some action going on, and I like a bit of action because it was kind of getting boring, kind of going up and down here. Nothing was really moving, right? But now we've gone down quite a bit, and mana. Let's see how mana has done BTC wise, okay? Because we can always look at mana in terms of fiat, and yes, it has gone down, but how has it done? How has it like kind of fared up with BTC? So back in where are we right now? 2016 Jan. So the start of this year was, I'd say about 17 Jan was when January was when like the peak of Bitcoin, right? That was like 20,000 US. So over the next 7 to 8 months, the last 8 9 months, it's kind of Bitcoin has gone down quite significantly. But you can see that mana to BTC, so mana relative to Satoshi value, has stayed quite stable, guys. Quite stable, right? We're sitting at about, I think, 1,200 Satoshi. You can say that that's how much it has kind of stayed around. But look, we're still, even though Bitcoin has dumped quite hard, Mana's still doing really well in terms of Bitcoin, like relative to BTC. So if your investment and your trading happens predominantly in crypto, you don't really have much to worry about. But obviously fiat value, it's sitting at about 6.5 cents, I believe, which if you convert that to the cheapest land, 6.5 cents times 9,000 mana, I think that's about 60,000, no, 600 US dollars, $600, which is a lot cheaper than it was like a month ago, right? Like even if lands were down to 7,000 mana, I think mana was about 9 to 10 cents. So it's about the same. It's a little bit cheaper though. But anyway, the lands over here, as you can see, they're probably right. They're at the edges of the world, so they're not as valuable. That's why they are the cheapest. But first, let's kind of go through. What I like to do is go through the marketplace, the most recent sales, and there's a few websites I use for that. Non-Fungible does a really good job, and also my DCL. I kind of move in between the two. But there was just a land that sold just before I was about to make this video 30 minutes ago. I actually had everything set up, and then this happened, and then I was kind of freaked out because, you know, I was in the midst of all this, and then I kind of went into chat mode and started to talk to people in Discord, and now I'm kind of calmed down a little bit. But check this out, guys. So this land right here, this beast of a land right here, minus 12.4. I'm gonna open it up for you guys. It is directly connected to Center Genesis Plaza, all right? One of the best seats in the house, like literally the best seats, one of the best seats in the house. A better seat would probably be 3 spots down here in the corner, connected to both the double road and Central Genesis. This is like in the middle of the map, guys. This is the most valuable piece of virtual real estate in Decentraland, like this area here. So to get a parcel connected to Genesis Plaza for 100,000 mana, and the guy that bought it from the auction spent 230,000 mana, and 100,000 mana is freaking peanuts. Like, it's compared to what it's worth, I think you could probably sell it for at least 200,000 mana. But even that's really cheap. That would have sold like within seconds if this was the same market it was 2 months ago. But the fact that Bitcoin has just, you know, it kind of dulls the mood for everything crypto, whether it be a DApp, whether it be another coin that's completely unrelated to Bitcoin, that is doing a completely different thing. Obviously, we've got Ethereum and Neo that have like their own blockchains. You know, they've got their own crypto coins built on top of them, doing totally different things in different departments other than just transactions like Bitcoin is. But they all get affected because they all exist within the crypto umbrella. So unfortunately, Decentraland isn't kind of immune to that because it's still affected by that. You can see, and I'm going to go through the volume later on, but you can see that lands have kind of a bit cheaper in terms of mana because people aren't in buying mood, right? Their crypto portfolio has gone down quite significantly, and they're not in. They become more in kind of hodl or sell all their fiat, all their mana. All their crypto mood. So it's one of the two. They either hodl, and then things as things kind of recover a little bit, then they feel a bit more confident. That's when you see land volume increase. But if this was the same market a while, like a month or two ago, then this would have sold for at least 250 to 300,000 mana. But picking it up for 100,000 mana, like you can double your money pretty quickly. 100,000 mana right now is about 6,000 US. So if to double your money on that is like another 6,000 US, which is quite a lot of money. All right, that's like a small car here in Australia. But yeah, so that's that. I don't want to talk about that one too much. We have plenty to go through in this video. Let's kind of go through some other sales that have happened and the valuations. Now, lands connected to single roads, we're still seeing them sell for between 15 to about 20,000 mana, somewhere in between, so 18.5 to 17,000 mana. A really good tool for checking this stuff out is my DCL. What I do is I put a filter to select parcels, the latest sales, and I kind of put road distance to 0, so that way it's connected to a road, and you can see the most recent parcels sold that are connected to roads: 17,900, 18,500, 18,700 mana, 17,000 mana. These are obviously outside of the 50-50 range. Anything within the 50-50 range, and you guys probably know this, you probably not. Let me quickly go over it. So these are 4 quadrants, okay? These small quadrants here, one over here, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these 4 quadrants exist within the 50, minus 50 to positive 50, okay? horizontally and vertically. Now within this is kind of the center of the city. Anything that exists outside of the 50-50 range, so anything on, you know, on the far south or on the far north, they are kind of a different beast. So the valuations are different. So they should be looked at a bit differently. So when we're looking at anything, we're looking at like average prices, we want to separate the two. Okay, so like these exist outside the 50-50. Okay, this one exists outside the 50. This one the same. This one the same. This one is within a pocket of really popular, and everyone's speculating that these districts are going to be big. You got Fashion Street, you got District X, you got Decentraland Marketplace, I believe, VR Marketplace. You got a really couple of big Genesis plazas, but this pocket in between, I think a lot of people are trying to get close to District X. So anything, they think that this one's going to be a big one. So they're trying to get parcels connected to roads that are like fairly close to this area, right? Now, I made a trade for a couple of parcels for a District X parcel just because the guy had no mana. So I wanted to sell it pretty quickly. So I sold it for 40,000 mana. And single road passes, like I said, outside of the 50-50 area, generally don't sell for that. In fact, that's a lot. That's like, I don't know, is that 2.5 times normal single roads? But the fact that it's within this pocket, right? This pocket is becoming more and more valuable every day. So even 40,000 is actually pretty cheap. A lot of them historically have sold for about 45,000 mana. You know, lands connected to single roads. Even lands connected to not the roads, but you know, like in between over here, not connected to any of the roads or the districts, they even sell for about 15 to 20,000 mana. Okay, so that pocket is becoming increasingly popular. What else do we have now? This Decentraland sign, like I said, there's the Decentraland kind of like a Hollywood type of sign type thing going on over here. Sold for 21,000 mana. Okay, 21,000 mana. I've normally seen these go from upwards to 20 to 25,000 mana. Okay, these, although again they're single roads, they are something special, and the more unique your parcel is, the more value it has, because there's going to be someone that wants it in that specific area. You got this one within the 50-50, the top left quadrant. Anything connected to these single roads, I have seen sell most of the time upwards of 30,000. 30 to 40,000 mana seems to be the sweet spot. If you can get it cheaper than 30,000 mana, then you're done pretty well. In fact, but the thing is, like, if they're around the 30,000 mark, but they're on the far outskirts of this quadrant, okay, then it's an okay deal. But anything I'd say under 30,000 that is, you know, in the more closer to Genesis Plaza, that's a good deal. So this guy's sold it for 36,000 mana, because there's going to be people that want a good seat in Decentraland, but don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of mana. They know that it has to be a single road. That's where the value is. So like this area here and the other quadrant with the roads are the only options. This one seems to be something more suited for kind of people that have a bit of money to spend, and the people that take residency in their virtual world. That it seems to be like a kind of a rich locality vibe to it. Right now, again, this is all speculation, guys, because the world hasn't opened up yet. So we're all buying and selling land, hoping that it's going to be this, it's hoping that it's going to be that. But you have to remember the risks involved is that we're in uncharted territory. Okay, but there's so many people that want in, it's driven the price up. And you know, I'm pretty confident it will live up to the hype, specifically with all the partnerships that they've been making. Now, lands within districts. So within districts, okay, there's a few different categories of lands like I go through before. Lands that are within a bunch of districts that seem to, you know, it makes sense that there's going to be high traffic here, especially if you consider that you can fly around. Lands that are, you know, within districts, so like over here or over here, you know, any of these little ones over here, like they're going to be a lot more valuable than lands that are on the far outskirts, that are, say, over here down south, where you can see these dark black areas are lands that no one purchased in the auction. So the more of these that there are within the land or close to the land that you have, the less desirable that place was during the auction, that no one even bought it, even though it was 1,000 mana. So the closer you are to these areas, or the more you don't see them, if you don't see them, then that means that you are in a desirable area. Now, something really interesting about this spot, that's kind of looking around, right? And I like to see what people paid for during the auction. So I was just looking through just to get a glimpse of what's valuable here. And you check this out, right? 45,000 mana for that land. How much was this? 55,000 mana for that land. Check this out. 420,000 mana for that land. Okay, so this is Crypto Valley. There's a really big team behind this district. And Genesis Plaza. That 420,000 mana, that is almost as much. Well, I think it's more than a freaking Central Genesis Plaza double road connection, guys. It's a big deal, especially it was fought for during the first auction back in late December, January. But it's very interesting for me to see that because it shows me that this area here is desired or whatever, right? Anything else connected to Crypto Valley? Let's just see. 32,000 mana. That's a big deal, guys. Like I've actually, if you think about it, I've never seen lands that are connected to the Crypto Valley for sale, because I think people that are connected to this are big players, and that's why my estate here that is somewhat close to Crypto Valley, I ain't selling that for anything cheaper than 50,000 mana a land, because this is gonna be a hot area for sure. Like I know the Crypto Valley, they're the ELF team, and AELF, and they're on the first page of CoinMarketCap with tens of millions of dollars worth of funding. You got engineering park, you got some tech area. You also have Dragon Kingdom, so the Chinese districts are up here. We all know that they've got some pretty big groups. The Battleground, you have 2 Genesis Plazas surrounding it, not that far, like 15 parcels in between. So I hope there's gonna be a lot of activity here, but it seems like that to me. Like if you check out lands connected to other districts, 2,000 mana. What about ones connected to Dragon City? What about some other hot districts? Let's check out District X, because we all know that's a pretty hot place. 5,000 mana. What about this one in the corner? Okay, 46,000 mana. There you go. That's pretty big. Okay, 18,000 mana. What about one over here? 12,500 mana. Whoa, someone spent 99,000 mana on that. But not 420,000 mana, right? Like that's the most I've seen on any district. That's huge for a auction, 10 months ago auction land evaluation. Anyway, there's so much to get distracted on this stuff. Let's go back. What I was trying to get to is that area, I believe, is going to be a big place. But generally speaking, like lands within districts, when you have districts nearby, I normally see them for sale in this kind of market right now, between 12 and 15, maybe 12 and 17,000 mana. 15,000 mana seems to be the fair price to get. Anything like 12 to 14,000 mana seems to be a good deal. Okay, so like if you can get that. I personally also believe like even the north, and a lot of people avoid this area, but why not? Like why not get something like in this area, right? DCL University, you got Vegas, you've got festival land, so I think like this area as well. And I had a few properties over here that I sold for about 12,900 mana each. I'd previously listed them for 13,800. They didn't sell for about a week, so I relisted it for 12,900 and they sold. But it's interesting to me that no one really pays much attention to this bit over here. And if Decentraland ever introduced the mechanism to burn 1,000 mana to build a land outside of Decentraland, which I think was in the white paper, but since then they've changed it to just focus on the current Genesis City. If they ever reintroduce that, then I can see people going nuts in the north. Like the north is going to be the area where people are going to be burning their mana to build new land, because check this out. Look, you can get ones connected directly to, Ethereum's. You can get them connected to, Vegas and all that kind of stuff. And we're still quite close to districts. Anyway, that's so far into the future. It's not even worth talking about. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going, guys. Sorry if I keep getting distracted. So 17,000 mana for a single land. 39,800. What do we have here? So these are the cheapest ones. They sold for 8,500, but the guy I think relisted it for 9,500 because he wants to make a quick 1,000 mana flip. He'll probably get them sold soon, but it's annoying that people that buy this just keep relisting them instead of holding them and taking them out of land circulation. They just keep putting the wall higher and higher, which is kind of annoying, but it happens. What else do we have, guys? This one sold for 23,450. Again, it's within that pocket, guys. And it's on the far west, and it's not even connected to a single road, and it sold for 23,000 mana. It's ridiculous, right? 13,000 mana, somewhat close to a district. That was a fair buy. 21,000 mana, normal. Nothing special about these. No, nothing special. 16,500 mana for one connected to Dragon City. 3-4 months, like 2-3 months ago, you could get these for about 7,900 mana. Check this out. 7,500 mana. 13 days ago, the guy sold it for 8,000 mana. This thing has been flipped so many times. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, okay. Well, that kind of shows you, gives you proof that land values are increasing, right? If people can keep selling it and making a profit. That's crazy. We went through that one. What else do we have? Anything special? Do we have anything special? Now, these lands were actually mine. You can see the ones connected over here. And I'll show you what I did and how I got them. I actually purchased this badass estate. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys some of the stuff that I did this week. Some fun stuff. I purchased this one right here, okay? For 300,000 mana, I purchased this piece of land here. And if I took a really close look to it, that averages out to about 11,000 mana, I believe. 11,500 mana per land, okay? 11,500 per land. Now, I told you guys, like, anything within districts is worth about, you know, between 12 and 15,000. So I know that even if I sell it for 12,500 mana each, the lowest price, 12,500 mana for each parcel, I'll make 26,000 mana profit off the whole deal, which is about, what is that? 6 times 26, 6 times 12, 6 times 6 is 36, 1,500? Is it? 1,500 US, right? Now, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. But look closer. You'll see there's a land. One of them is connected to a double road. 2 of them are connected to a district. These 3 are still fairly close to these districts. So when you take that into consideration, I thought that, all right, I can probably sell this one for 35, probably sell this one for about 20, sell these for 15 each, and sell these as an estate for 20 each once the right investor comes into play. And overall, once I did the math, I could sell it for 200,000 mana profit. Okay. Now I did that. I kind of blocked this off into its own separate estate, and I sold all of these individually. And I sold this one for 35,000 mana. I sold this one for 20,000 mana. And you can see the other ones here sold for 15,000 mana each. So 16.5, 15.5, 15,000 mana. I think the other 2 are a private deal, so you're not going to see them here. You'll see them in my wallet. But yeah, I'm already profited like 4,000 to 5,000 mana per parcel for the 6 in the line. And then I'm just sitting on that estate, hoping for the right buyer to come in and buy that estate, because I don't want to let estate go, guys, for, you know, investors that don't plan to do anything with it. So yes, I can sell them cheap if I cut them all up into one pieces. I can probably sell them all for about 15,000 mana each, but I don't want to do that. I want the right investor to come in, to buy a big estate, build an experience that people are going to love, to give value to Decentraland. Okay, so hopefully that happens. Let's see, guys. What else do we have? A Genesis Plaza land sold for 85,000 mana, which seems to be the bottom at the moment. You can't really find a Genesis Plaza land for that price. 15,000 mana, one connected to Fluffy Land, so it's directly connected to a district. Lands have been specifically cheap about 4 to 5 days ago, because that's when Bitcoin went down quite low, and prices in Decentraland were, you know, at near the bottom area. This one, someone stuffed up and accidentally put 2,000 instead of 20,000 mana. I know the feeling. Man. It happened to me. So he resold it for the guy that bought this resold it for 12,000 mana. Made a quick $800 US. This one sold for 14.5. Only a couple of parcels away. I think this one was like bought and resold plenty of times. So check that out. 7.5. 7 to 12,000 mana profit. There's a bunch of lands that was sold here. You can see that you probably find a lot of them. Okay, there's one other one there. Anything else? Anything special, guys? Like, I'm trying to find something. This one was a freaking good deal. So these 2 are good deals. Look at this. 10,000 mana for a land connected to the Decentraland sign. Also with a single road on 2 sides of it, okay? And there's different single road connections. There's ones that have 2 sides connected. There's one that have 3 sides connected. There's ones that, like this one here, has all 4 sides connected, right? And those are probably worth like 40,000 mana plus, just because they have all sides connected. So these parcels here sold for, this one sold for 10,000 mana. And he can probably sell it easily for above 20,000 mana, just because it's a double single road connection. It's connected to the Decentraland Sun. I think he'll probably sell it for 25,000 mana if he just waits a little bit. This one was also sold for 13,000 mana, again connected to the Decentraland Sign, so 20,000 mana plus, at least. What else do we have, guys? What else? What good deals here? What else were good deals? Give me some good deals. Where are we? 5 days ago. Okay. This one, single road connection, 13,990 mana. Like a few of these were sold. No, a couple of these were sold. 13,900 mana. 14,500. It's not too bad of a deal. But you guys saw, right? The bottom seemed to be about 17,000 mana for single road connections. This one, 45,000 mana. Not too bad, actually. That's actually pretty good. 31 spots away from Center Genesis for 45,000 mana. 41,000 mana. What the? Okay. That's actually quite a lot. See, that's not even connected to a single road. 41,000 mana. 45,000 mana. 49,000 mana because it's on a corner of a district. Okay. Alright, guys. Oh, this one was 10,000 mana. That's not too bad. It's only one parcel away from a double road. You could probably sell that for about 20,000, 15,000 mana, actually. 15 to 20,000. Anyway, guys, you see the valuation. Let's go to estates. Remember, there's Decentraland single parcels and there's estates. Let's look at some estates that have sold. I don't know what the hell's going on with this one. So we're going to ignore that. There must be a glitch on the website. This used to be mine back in the day. But I sold it for a pretty good deal. I sold it for 22,000 mana per land for 21 pieces. Okay, there's 21 pieces connected here. You can see if you click on them individually, they still have my 400,000 for the lot. Contact DCLblogger.com. I sold for 22,000 mana a piece 2 months ago. But then the guy that bought it off me, he ended up selling them really cheap. So 84,000 mana. He split them up into 3. 84 plus 52 plus 51. I think that's 185,000 mana. So 185,000 mana for all of these. The guy lost like 300,000 mana. He reduced the price that he bought it for by 300,000 mana to sell them all. And that was the seller from this guy, right? So this guy is the guy that has so much land that he literally bought like hundreds and hundreds of lands back in the day, bumped the price up from 6,000 to 15,000 mana, a single parcel, like the minimum you could buy it, right? And then recently, over the last 2 months, he's been getting rid of the ones that hasn't found value in, and that's what's really caused the market to go down. So he's a big investor, guys. Like, I've looked at his wallet and I've gone through it last video, and he has about 15 million mana at the ready. So he's a big investor. He doesn't really care about 10 to 20,000 US up and down, which is seems ridiculous, but you know what? For big investors, I can see that kind of mentality. Any estates? Any really cool estates that were purchased? So there was that one there. Let's see. This one wasn't too bad. 81,000 mana for 6 lands. I think that works out to be about 12 or 13,000 mana per land. 13,500 mana per land for a single road. So each one of these is connected to a single road. Okay, you can probably sell that for about 2,000 to 3,000 mana profit each. Anything else? This one was the one that I bought, which is a pretty good deal. I jumped onto that one. What else do we have, guys? What else? 88,000 mana for a double road connected to this section here. 130,000 mana for just 2 parcels connected to this section here. Like I said, guys, this pocket here is gonna be a hot pocket. Okay, so we passed the 7 days. Nothing else. Nothing else. Alright, guys, so let's just say that lands within districts are about 12 to 15,000 mana. Okay, that's a good deal. Lands that are on single roads, I'd say about 15 to 18,000 mana, unless they're connected to the Decentraland sign, in which case is about 18 to 25,000 mana. Should be a good deal. Lands that are in the middle of nowhere are about 9 to 10,000 mana. That's the minimum you seem to get it at. And the good thing is, like, if the first page is bought, then there's only a few more parcels where if they're bought as well, it goes straight up to 12,000 mana. So you got a ton of land in between, like under 10,000 mana. Then you have only like one land that's in between 10 and 11,000, and only a few after that that takes you to 12,000. So it doesn't take much for like a, you know, it might in the next week you might see the cheapest land being 12,000 mana. All right, 12 to 15,000 mana, 12 to 13,000 mana. Look at this. After 12,000, there's only like 3-4 other lands, and then we're back to 12,800. Yeah, so things could increase quite quickly. Now, let's look at some really good deals on the marketplace. Alright guys, I'm going to try and make this part quick. We're already at about 30 minutes. To check out like really cheap parcels or the best deals on the market, I use a few tools. I use this one over here called DCLmap.com. This was made by a really good developer. But check this out, right? He's kind of made a heat map of all the roads, all the lands for sale, and he's kind of put a color on the cheapest ones. So I'm going to go through some that I think are good deals. Remember I told you guys that within districts seem to be lands that seem to hold some of their value. So you got some over here that are in the 15,000 mana range, right? 14,900 mana, 12,900 mana. Like that one's a good deal. I would, you know, that's something that I would pick up. Again, a disclaimer guys, I don't usually buy things off the marketplace. So even though 12,900 mana might be a good deal for many, I try and find the person that owns that parcel and get it even cheaper. For me, I try and get it for 11,000 mana or 10,000 mana, because that way I know that worst case scenario, I can probably sell it for 12,500 mana, because even if I sell it, that's still regarded as cheap. So it should sell pretty quickly instead of me waiting for a long time for it to sell. So there's that one. So there's a few parcels in this area over here, so near you know, battlegrounds. I'm just under battlegrounds. This is the center area over here. I found a few over here that seem to be good. These two are, I think this is an estate, so 14,500 mana for each parcel there within that estate. To 25,000 mana each. Don't know about that. 29,000 mana each. This one is mine. I'm selling for 25,000 mana each. What do we have, guys? 25,000. Okay, not really. What about this area here? Remember I told you guys under 30,000 mana or anything closer to 30,000 mana seems to be a good deal. 29,200 mana. That's not too bad, but see, it's on the further outskirts of this quadrant, but it's still a decent purchase. I think it's a decent purchase. I'd rather get something closer to here. So let's see if there's anything here. What about these two? 33,000. Okay, 33,000 mana. I think that's pretty good. Like, look how close it is to the center Genesis, okay? It's about 15-20 parcels max away from center Genesis. 33,000 mana. It's not a great deal, but it's a good deal. Okay, we're looking for great deals. Usually don't happen on the marketplace, or you have to be very patient to get them. So if you want to buy a parcel right now, then you might go onto marketplace and try and find the best deal, but it may not exist, because remember, everyone's looking at this marketplace. So the moment there is a good deal or something really cheap, then it gets picked up within seconds, right? So it's either you wait and get really quick at doing that, or you kind of find a way to contact people and find your own deals by contacting them, negotiating with them, and doing something that other people are not doing. So keep that in mind as well. Ooh, that one's pretty good. 27,900 mana. See, that's a decent deal. You could probably buy that, and if you want to resell, you can sell it for about 29,000 or 32,000 mana. That one's pretty good. Anything else under 30,000 that is connected to a single road? 32,000 over here. Okay, so we got some over there that are pretty good. Anything connected to a double road that has our attention? So anything on the light green variety? 34,500 mana on a double road. What else do we have? Anything on the double road that's cheap? Anything on a Genesis Plaza that's cheap? What's this one? 89,500 mana. Can we zoom in? Oh, zoom out. Oh, well, yes, we can zoom out. Can we zoom out? What about these ones? 15,000 mana each. Nothing special there. Nah, I'm not really looking for anything on the far outskirts. 17,000 mana each. That's interesting. I think this whole thing is an estate. You know why that's interesting? Because these three over here are connected to DCL University. You could probably sell that for about 35,000 mana each. So if you do the math, I haven't done the math. So you got 4 parcels here that will sell for 35,000 mana each. You got another 4 here that will sell for about 12,500 mana each. And you got another 6 here that will probably sell for about 10,000. So 60 plus 4 times 12.5, 50 plus 60, 110 plus 4 times 35 is 230. So 230,000. Okay, you're gonna break even. So if you can find the owner of that and negotiate that down to 150,000, then yeah, that'll be a good deal. And that's how I kind of do my purchasing. I find the owner, and I do the math in my head and say, okay, if I want to sell this, I could probably sell that for a minimum of 220,000 mana. Let's find the owner and try and buy it for about 150,000, so I can make 70,000 mana profit. Okay, so that's how I try and do it. What else do we have, guys? What else do we have? Anything else, or are we gonna end this? 27,000 mana. This is near the Vegas area. This pocket here also seems to hold some value. So anything like single roads over here, single road parcels over here seem to go from 20,000 mana and above. By the way, guys, like single road parcels are becoming rarer and rarer. Okay, they're becoming more and more rare. Anything connected to a road. And if you look at this, let's look at this. The cheapest land for sale that is connected to a road parcel, 15,000 mana, 15,000 mana. But once about, say, these are bought, so this one's bought, this one's bought, this one really doesn't count because it's on the far outskirts, this one doesn't count because it's on the corner, but this one, this one. But yeah, 4 or 5 parcels and it's up to 17,000. Then another 4 or 5 parcels of land. Okay, maybe not 4 or 5. No, there's quite a few, 17 to 18,000. But very quickly, like if you do have an influx of new investors that want to get these single road parcels and maybe picks up like 5 or 10 of them, right? Then very quickly the bottom will be increased to about 20,000 mana, and you might find yourself in a place where the cheapest single road parcel is 20,000 mana, right? So just be wary of that. But you always want to look at how much supply there is, and always think about like if things suddenly increase, then what's the next cheapest? Look at that, 23,000 mana. I can see it becoming like the cheapest will be 23,000 mana, because every land that gets purchased off the marketplace that someone decides to keep and build on, that's one less on the marketplace that will ever be listed, or that is not going to be listed for a very long time. So supply is continuously decreasing, especially if you take into consideration that there's only about 45,000 land parcels in all of Decentraland, and if all of them, or a big majority of them, get built on, then it's just going to keep going higher and higher, right? The price, especially in terms of fiat value in the long term. So look at that, 25,000 mana. This one is for sale for in this pocket. I think that's probably the cheapest in that area. We have anything interesting over here? 25,000 mana. Any double roads? Like where's the double roads at? Where are you, double roads? 27. Let's see what the cheapest double road plot is. Let me guess. I think there's 32,000. There's this one over here, 31,000 mana for a double road connected to China, a Dragon City, I believe. It's a huge district, right? Like the size of the district shows you how many people contributed to that district. So obviously there's a lot of potential here on this one, and we don't really hear from the Chinese community much because they talk and exist and communicate in WeChat and some other Chinese apps. But we do know that there's a lot of activity going on over there. There's that one over there. What other double roads do we have? Any other double roads? This one over here. Okay, so good deals, guys. Like good deals at the end of the day. If you want to buy on the marketplace right now and you don't really want to wait too long, then the best thing you can do is just compare it to everything else that's for sale, and depending on where you want to buy it, and make sure you're buying it for the cheapest, and always compare it to non-fungibles and make sure that historically speaking, like lands in those areas have sold for that price. And you can also you can go to sales, all right, and you can always play with these coordinates and put down a coordinate filter to look at a certain space and see how much lands have sold for in that certain area. But I'm going to let you guys play with these filters to figure that out. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Gosh, I try and keep them short, but look how long they've become. This one's like 45 minutes. There's just way too much to go through, right? It's 7 days worth of sales, and I'm trying to make these shorter and shorter as I can. Again, I'm going to be making, hopefully, later on this week, I'll be making kind of like the updates of the last 7 days of what's happening in Decentraland. We've had an Ask Me Anything thread coming up. We had one to talk about the next auction coming up. I think we had another partnership, not too sure, can't remember. We've had so many recently, actually. But we've had some progress, and yeah, I will go through this on Friday or something like that. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you let me know you guys enjoyed this specific series. If you guys like me doing this, comment on the video, share it on Twitter. Do what you need to do to make me to let me know that you guys appreciate these videos, because it tells me what I need to make, right? If you guys like this type of videos, then I'll keep making these type of videos. If you like another type of video, then I'll keep making those types of videos. But let me know so I can continue doing a certain genre of videos for Decentraland. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys in the chats.